Hi, and welcome to my final reflection of this course. Today, I'll be talking about what I learned about myself as a thinker and writer, and how specific assignments shape my growth and what habits I plan to carry into the future. Who I am becoming as a thinker and writer. When I first walked into this class, I believed that writing meant one thing, the rigid five-paragraph essay format where we were all required to follow in high school. Because of that, I hated writing. I felt that it was restrictive. It was just like a formula that I kept having to plug in, and I felt disconnected from anything that I like actually cared about writing. I also felt like in high school, like I only ever got like specific topics that I had to write about, so it was always boring and something I didn't want to do. This semester completely changed that through the work we did and through the habits of the creative mind. I learned that writing doesn't have to be a box. It can actually be something that helps me explore what I'm curious about. So one idea that stood out to me is from the chapter Follow the Thread. The author encourages allowing your curiosity to lead you, even if you're not entirely sure what you're going to get. And this idea shaped how I approach writing, less like a chore and more like a process of discovery. Another chapter that defines the writer I'm becoming is the try on other voices, and it taught me that I don't have to stick to one tone or one perspective. Using first person writing is something I almost never did before. It let me connect personally with my ideas and speak from a place of knowledge and experience. And then these chapters helped me realize that I'm not the rigid writer that I used to be, and I'm becoming someone who likes to write, I think. I don't just like finish the assignments. I actually enjoyed like finishing and writing all of these papers that I wrote. So major assignments that shaped my growth are the two assignments that impacted me the most were the inquiry essay and the research narrative. For both projects, I focused on celiac disease, which is a topic that's personal, scientific, and deeply connected to my future as a veterinarian. So I always knew that I was going to be writing scientific papers, so I'm glad that I chose a scientific topic that I could be writing. Working on this topic across multiple assignments helped me see that writing is not as isolated as a task, but as part of a larger process. The research narrative especially stood out, and it forced me to slow down and find a lot of meaningful sources, and it built threads between the ideas. And creating those threads helped me realize how research actually works, and I know that that skill will directly help me in veterinary school and future science-based writings. What made the inquiry essay influential is how naturally it flowed. For the first time, I didn't feel like I was squeezing ideas into a template. I let my interest in the topic guide the structure, and writing it felt way more genuine and less forced, which is what I realized I could actually do to enjoy writing. And when it feels connected to my curiosity, instead of a restricted by a formula, it's something that I actually like really enjoyed writing. So, course media that influenced the writer that I want to be is that the work connected me with the work that connected with me the most was that Woodstock analysis we did. It wasn't just reading, it was the assignment used a podcast, it used videos that you showed in class, and it gave both the audio and visual layers to this assignment or to this information. Listening to people describe the atmosphere of Woodstock and seeing it in footage made me the entire topic come alive, and it made me feel like I was actually there. I understood the cultural impact for and so much more clearly than if I just read like an article about it. This made me realize something about the kind of writer and thinker I want to be. I want to incorporate audio and visual elements into my communication, which is why I did my adaptation as a video whenever I can. So those multimodal forms that help me break down ideas in a way that it feels natural, they kept me way more engaged as a learner. The Woodstock assignment showed me that writing doesn't always have to be text heavy. Um, and that it can be immersive and sensory while still being analytical. So one habit I learned to avoid this semester is focusing on the right answer. Instead of exploring my thinking, Habits of the Creative Mind warns against this in the chapter Be Wrong, and it talks about allowing yourself to experiment, take risks, and even more make mistakes because of how real thinking happens. Early in their semester, I often tried to too hard to make my drafts perfect on the first try. The only It made the writing really stressful and it blocked my progress. And I felt like as the semester evolved, my grades got better and my learning about this got better. And now I understand that messy drafts and mistakes are part of the process of writing, and that trying to sound perfect way too early harms my creativity and harms the way that I actually write something. Looking ahead, there's several habits from this class that I plan to use in my future courses and even beyond school. The biggest one is creating threads before I write. Learning to map out my ideas and see where they connect and follow my curiosity has made me feel my writing feel way more meaningful and way more organized. I felt like I could just copy and paste the information that I already gained from one essay into another. And it'll help me in the future science classes, especially as I move forward, where research and clarity is definitely essential to be a doctor. I also want to continue writing with more freedom and using different perspectives, which adds first person when appropriate and experimenting with this media. The class showed me that writing can be creative and expressive and not just functional, and I really did enjoy that. If I had to sum up what changed the most for me, it would be my attitude toward writing. I used to see writing as a formula, like I said, but now I see it as a tool. It's a way to think deeply, explore topics I cared about, and communicate ideas in ways that fit my learning style. Overall, I loved this course. It helped me discover my new identity as a writer, one who values curiosity, creativity, and flexibility. And I'm really grateful for the growth that I've experienced. And I'm excited to carry these habits into my future academic and professional life. Thank you so much for everything. I really did enjoy this course. Goodbye, Dr. Crow. Good luck.